your family. See, if you've got something real, the presence of Christ in you should be bringing the presence of Christ into your home. You walk in, he should walk in. Maybe you're a winner on the road. You're a hero to people at church, in the community, the ministry you're involved in. You're a hero at work. Maybe you're a hero in the Christian world. But spiritually, are you a hero to your family? They should get your spiritual best, not your leftovers. Maybe it's time to take a step back and commit yourself to, first of all, represent Christ, to be his ambassador in your family. Be like Jesus in your family. Whatever others get, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be the overflow of what you are living in front of your family. Jesus started at home. So should you.
Thanks, Ron. Friend, is A Word With You a part of your daily routine? We encourage you to subscribe to the email transcript version of A Word With You. Each day's A Word With You can be sent directly to your email box. Or if you prefer the weekly summary, you can get an entire week's worth of A Word With You in one email. To subscribe to A Word With You via email, visit awordwithyou.com. That's awordwithyou.com. A Word With You is a feature of Ron Hutchcraft Ministries. Thanks for listening.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. If you've already cast your ballot, you're among the more than 67 million Americans who have taken advantage of early voting. The candidates, though, continue focusing on those who have not yet gone to the polls. White House correspondent Greg Clugston says later today President Trump will be out west.
After 3 stops in the Midwest yesterday, the president holds 2 rallies in Arizona, which is considered a toss-up state with under a week to go. It's Mr. Trump's second visit to Arizona in the past 9 days. Following today's events, the president flies to Florida tonight for campaign rallies tomorrow in the Southeast.
And last night, the president told a crowd in Omaha that some potentially damaging revelations about his Democrat challenger will be surfacing real soon.
Some bad news just came out on Biden, but I won't tell you about that. You'll find that out tomorrow.
As of right now, no events on Joe Biden's schedule for today, even though the election now less than a week away. New Orleans among the Gulf Coast communities bracing for a hit from Hurricane Zeta, a storm expected to make landfall this evening near the Louisiana-Mississippi border. Shrimp boat captain Rudy Gonzalez says this has been a real tough season.
It's kind of unusual for 7 times. Normally, you might do it once in a year. It's been a rough year with the storm.
Forecasters warn of a life-threatening storm surge and strong winds expected along portions of the northern Gulf Coast, and that should start around midday. Also at srnnews.com, looters raided stores in parts of Philadelphia last night. The second night of unrest after police shot and killed a man who was armed with a knife, a man who police say refused orders to drop the knife and lunged at officers. Looters and vandals making off with all kinds of merchandise, including electronics. Wall Street Dow futures down 431 points, and this is SRN News. Should pastors endorse political candidates?
Lifeway research reports that just 1% of America's Protestant clergymen have ever encouraged their parishioners to vote for a particular person from the pulpit. However, 1/3 of them say they have personally endorsed political candidates outside of the church this year. That marks a 10-point jump from 2016. A recent Lifeway poll found that a majority of Protestant pastors say they plan to vote for President Trump next week. Michael Harrington, SRN News.
France's national police are calling for increased security at religious sites around All Saints holiday this coming weekend, particularly noting online threats from extremists against Christians. Geopolitical tensions are growing since the beheading of a French teacher who showed his class caricatures of Mohammed. A Muslim immigrant carried out the killing. Arab nations calling for boycotts of French goods. And this is SRN News. Growing calls among Senate Democrats to end the filibuster if they manage a victory in the November election.
The filibuster requires a 60-vote threshold to advance a bill to a final vote, giving the minority party some leverage in a divided government to cause delays and try to force compromise on bills they dislike. Part of what's supposed to make the U.S. Senate the world's greatest deliberative body. Now Democrats are hearing increasing calls from within their own party to eliminate the filibuster if they win back the majority, calls that have echoed even louder with the rapid confirmation of Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the U.S. Supreme Court. Bob Agnew reporting.
London's Heathrow has lost its title as Europe's busiest airport after the COVID-19 pandemic rounded flights, and Britain failed to approve passenger testing that could scale back quarantine requirements. Paris's Charles de Gaulle Airport now the busiest airport in Europe. Again on Wall Street this hour, S&P futures are down 48 points. More details.
Hi, this is Al Williams, Operations Manager here at WVVC. As we settle into fall, we look back on a very difficult season. Because of COVID, many local businesses have struggled, and some have even shut their doors for the last time. Our station is no exception. We need your support to keep the ministry moving here at WVVC. Would you consider being a financial supporter? All you have to do is log on to WVVC Utica. That's WVVC, like we're the Valley Voice for Christ. WVVCutica.com and click on Donate. We aren't some huge ministry in a faraway state. We're located and staffed right here in the Mohawk Valley. We are local Christian radio serving our local mission field, which is our local community. I just wanted to thank you for listening and supporting the ministry of WVVC.
Now, your Breakfast Club weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I am Kevin James with a quick check of your WVVC weather forecast. For today, Wednesday, we will see mostly cloudy skies early with partly cloudy skies later in the day. Our highs will be in the low 50s. For tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies in the evening, which will become cloudy on the overnight with a chance for periods of showers after midnight. Our lows will be in the low 40s. For tomorrow, Thursday, look for cloudy skies with a chance for occasional showers. Our highs will be near 50. For Thursday night, evening rain showers will mix with snow showers late, as our lows will be in the low 30s. For the long-range outlook, cooler temperatures with chances for showers and snow showers will be the rule through the end of the week, with partly cloudy skies over the weekend into the new week. We turn our clocks back 1 hour Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, as it will become 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy that extra hour of rest. With your weather forecast, I'm Kevin James on WVVC Utica, New York.
Oh, man, and it is Wednesday.
Hump Day.
Hump Day. And it's what we call a special edition of the Breakfast Club today, because today is Telethon Day.
It is Telethon Day.
Yes.
It is the rescue mission.
Yes, we're going to be helping the rescue mission meet their goal, because I'll tell you what, the snow's starting to fall. Things are starting to get cold, and there are folks out there without a roof over their head.
Or a warm meal.
Yeah, you know, there are a lot of issues, and there's so much that they do for the community.
Actually, the rescue mission is one of those effective ways that you can really reach out into society and help people out.
Yes.
And one of the great things that we have found out when we were doing the rescue mission project, they are faith-based.
They are.
Every division, chapter, every section that they do, and they actually don't have just like a place for people to stay overnight and a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
They actually have a lot more things.
They
and
really
all
do.
of them are faith-based.
That's right.
Amazing.
Yeah, I remember when we were in the Parker House. It's interesting because the Parker House is what they call an aftercare program. And so that means after they've been clean.
It's kind of like a halfway house.
That's exactly what it is. But they were talking about how there's literally a discipleship program that happens there.
Yep.
It's very cool. Very cool stuff.
We have seen it in action with our own two eyes, and it is one of those effective things that actually does change lives.
Yeah, it does. It does. So we're just happy to be a part of that, and you'll notice the phone number down there on the stations of WVVC. We've got that phone number out there.
There we are. The Mission Possible Telethon.
The Mission Possible Telethon phone number. The phone's opened at 7. And they're starting at ground zero. They definitely need some help. So 877-238-6575. I'm telling you, if there is a charity out there that's worth the donate.
That's worth your dime.
That's right. It's these guys.
You know,
because they do an amazing work in the community.
Yes, they do.
All right, let's get things going there.
Here we go. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for a new opportunity to praise you. We pray, Lord, for health and wisdom. And Father, we pray as we enter this day that we hear your word, walk in your steps, that we be filled with your Holy Spirit and manifest your greatness, your goodness, and your love here on this earth. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
First on your FM dial, WVVC Dolesville, Utica, Rome. Inspo Radio 88.1 FM.
Trading punches with the heart of darkness, going to blows with your fear and calling. You never know until it's stripped away. The part of you has gotta die to change. In the morning you gon' need an answer. Ain't nobody gonna change the standard. It's not enough to just feel the flame. You gotta burn your old self away. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you make you stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gonna hurt, but don't you slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. You know the situation can't be right, and all you ever do is fight. But there's a reason that the road is long. It takes some time to make your courage strong. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you makes you stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gonna hurt, but don't you slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. When the wolves come and hunt me down, I will face them all and stand my ground. 'Cause there's a fire burning deep. They will see my strength in this love I've found. Whoa! Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you makes you stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gonna hurt, but don't you slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. 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 Oh, it's a hard love. It's a hard love. It's a hard love. It's a hard love. Oh, it's a hard love. It's a hard love. It's a hard love. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you make you stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gonna hurt, but don't you slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a hard love. 'Cause it's a hard love.
It's Need to Breathe on WVVC 88.1 FM. 7 minutes past 7 o'clock on
And
a very
it's a beautiful Oh Dark 30
Oh, Dark
if you
30,
like
yes.
dark and damp.
a very special episode of The Breakfast Club this morning. You remember in the 80s how all the sitcoms, they always had a very special episode of The Facts of Life.
Dun, dun, dun.
A very special episode of Different Strokes. Yeah, the episode where the creepy old bike owner comes on to Arnold and his friend there in Different Strokes. Yeah, always that very special episode.
Very special.
But it is a good thing we're doing today, raising money for the Rescue Mission of Utica. 877-238-6575 is their
yes, indeed. And
their
we're going to be live on TV.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're not going to be on it. We're going to be working it.
We're going to be behind it. So
Yes,
tonight from 7 to 9, Walt and I are going to be pointing cameras and pushing buttons.
Yes, indeedy.
Yeah.
Al will not be flying the Wheatstone console. He's
No.
going to be flying the video console.
That's right. That's right. We'll be flying the video and the audio and actually
We'll be pointing the cameras.
yeah, it's going to be good times.
It's going to be a live telethon right there at West Street.
Right there. And it's kind of a new thing because not only are we doing it on the air here at WVVC on radio and TV, we're also doing it on social media.
It's unprecedented.
It's everywhere.
A very special episode.
A very special episode. Yeah. So your news update brought to you by Dr. Uniforms, 1311 Oriskany Street West in Utica. If you're a professional, need professional garb.
You know, like a shiny new toque or a real cool chef's jacket, or you want to spifficate your
Yes.
your wardrobe.
The total spiffification.
Yeah,
Yes.
spiffification. And if you're that kind of people that is busy, and you need to stay on your feet all day long, they got really good shoes there.
Yeah, they do.
They got the professional kind of shoes.
Professional shoes. They got those Sanita shoes for the nurses out there, the comfortable, stay on your feet all
Yeah,
day.
if you are one of those people that really have to move around on hard floors, it's going to help you out at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
When you take them off.
315-266-0093, Dr. Uniforms.
Now, your local headlines from the Breakfast Club.
All right, off the top today, this is an update to a story we brought you yesterday. I shouldn't laugh because it's not really funny. But we told you that there was a shooting over there in Brookfield.
Yes.
Well, the details are now out, okay? A Brookfield man charged after Madison County Sheriff's Office says he accidentally shot himself. And,
yes.
And then reported that he was shot by someone else.
Yeah, he called the cops and said that somebody shot him.
Yeah.
And he was not gun safe.
No. Deputies were called to a home on Route 8 in Brookfield on Monday after an 18-year-old told 911 dispatchers he'd been shot in the leg by a stranger while entering his home. When emergency responders arrived at the house, they applied a tourniquet, stopped the bleeding, took him to St. E's. When the sheriff's investigators interviewed him, he admitted he accidentally shot himself and falsely reported it as a shooting. Okay, kid's 18.
Oh, he's 18?
He's 18. So he's a little foolish still.
Now, I got to tell you, one of the things that we did in Scouts that I thought was really good was we had target practice.
Mm-hmm.
And we had you in Cub Scouts, they would teach you how to use a BB gun and do it the right way. And you had a target that was 25 feet away, not very far, and it was an indoor range. But later on in Scouts, we brought the kids out and we actually had 22s.
Yep.
And the kids would do target shooting with 22s. And I will tell you that the safe way to use a weapon was the paramount thing that we were doing. And I was a Scoutmaster. And I was a little bit sure that those Scouts, there are two things you do. You never point a weapon at anybody.
Yep.
And you never put your finger on the trigger unless you intend to pull the trigger.
That's right.
Okay, this way the thing doesn't go off.
Yep.
Okay, and you don't, when you're playing, you don't play around with it, but when you're pointing that barrel, you are always making sure that barrel is always in a safe direction.
That's right.
If you learn these things when you are very young, you will keep them with you.
Yes.
Okay, so these are some of the things that, especially upstate, where firearms are a deal, these are very good things to learn young before you're 18.
Yes. My children were surprised at two things that I told them. One, when I told them that you didn't need a license to have a rifle or a shotgun, which you don't in New York. You do not need a license for those things. And when I told them that I had my first 22 at age 14. Very common when I was young.
14, I think that is, you're becoming aware of a lot of things at that point in life, and also your ability to learn stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, frankly, most of the things I know now, I learned in shop class.
Yep.
In 7th grade.
That's right.
7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Yep. All those things, I just keep applying them farther and farther and farther, and you learn the envelope. So when you're 14, you are perfectly capable of safely carrying, like a short 22 rifles.
Yes.
Those kinds of things. You don't want to be brandishing, big weapons, but you learn small, you learn safe, and you grow from there.
When I was a kid, it was very common to see those shotguns on a rack in the back window of a Chevy pickup.
Sure.
Very common.
Hanging in the family room of somebody's house or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What in the world? I thought it was a wasp. That is a stink bug. There is a stink bug in here.
Oh, boy.
All right. There we go. I'm like, whoa.
So what else is going on now?
What in the world am I looking at? An Oneida County court judge has ruled that Brandon Clark will not get a trial. You might have remembered that he had decided to plead guilty and then had tried to change to not guilty.
Right.
And he's accused of the murder of 17-year-old Bianca Devins on Boilermaker Sunday of last year. Pleaded guilty on February 10th. On October 14th, the Honorable Michael Dwyer held a hearing to allow attorneys for both sides present oral arguments. The judge denied Clark's motion to withdraw that plea of guilty on the grounds it wasn't entered freely, knowingly, and voluntarily because he was denied the right to effective counsel. That was his argument. In his decision, the judge points out the times when Clark was told that his decision to plead was final. So he knew, He also pointed out that Clark had earlier expressed satisfaction with his legal representation and had freely admitted during his plea allocation that he committed the murder. So that's that. So next, Clark will
I don't like what's going on, so I'm going to change my mind.
I changed my mind.
Yeah, changing your mind doesn't change reality, dude. Sorry.
Nope. And like I've said before,
especially for your victim,
don't commit a crime in Oneida County. You're not going to get away with it. Clark will be sentenced for his guilty plea for that murder. Court date for the sentencing has not yet been determined. Oh, let's shift gears to all COVID all the time. 10 inmates at the Oneida County Correctional Facility have tested positive for the coronavirus, according to the Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashal. I was about to call it the Kung Flu. The Kung Flu. And I guess that's not acceptable.
It's called the Wuhan flu.
The Wuhan flu. It's not the Kung Flu. Yeah. 10 of the positive inmates have been moved to the jail's medical unit but are not showing symptoms, according to the sheriff. The infected inmates were in a housing unit with 33 others when the first positive case was confirmed. As of Tuesday afternoon, Mashal says now 29 of the other inmates have tested negative but have been moved to a separate quarantine unit and monitored for symptoms. So they were quarantining the negative. He says they're still waiting for the final 4 inmates' test results. So, according to the Mashal, jail staff is working with the Oneida County Health Department to determine how the inmates were exposed to the virus. I say we should just let them all go. I mean, come on. You don't want them to get sick. Let them back, just contact Andy. He'll tell you the way to handle this is to let them all go.
So probably the best hope that the previous guy we were talking about who was trying to change his plea is for him to get COVID and just walk.
There you go. No problem. Problem solved. Guilty plea not necessary.
Yeah.
And in other COVID news, all right. So everybody's talking about these new models for school. Okay. These hybrid models where some kids will go to school, some won't. Some will go half days here, some will go half days there. So what could possibly go wrong with that? Well, Utica City School District says they will not start implementing that in-person hybrid learning next week because of a bus driver shortage. According to district officials, Bernie Bus, the company that provides transportation for the Utica City Schools, says they do not have enough drivers for the increased number of routes required to do this hybrid learning because they're literally going to have to make multiple trips.
Don't you think that the governor would have thought about that, when they were doing all this, let's have these guys.
I know, the governor knows all, sees all.
Emperor Andy, he should have been like on top of this, knowing that we're going to have this kind of a. So school's out for winter?
For winter, apparently. District's hybrid plan was supposed to start with 120.
I think that this was really an 8-year-old attack to avoid going to school.
We got a good one on not that exact same line, but we got a good one coming up on that.
Okay.
The plan was supposed to start with 127 bus routes to accommodate 2 of the elementary groups of students. They only have 96 drivers for these 127 bus routes.
Cut them in half.
Plus, the company does not have substitute drivers, and they should have a 15% overage of substitute drivers, or at least 19 drivers in addition to the 31 that they're already short. So, yeah, that's a bit of a problem for the folks there in Judica. That's how you say it, is Judica.
So they're going
East
all
Judica, West
all
Judica.
telly all the time?
All telly all the time. And speaking of all telly all the time, the New Hartford Central School District is actively working to find out who's responsible for a hack on their virtual learning classroom. Last week...
Somebody hacked the educational system?
Oh, yeah. Last week, a hacker posing as a student in a health class was admitted to the classroom. Once in the class, students tell their parents that the hacker played a loud noise through the speaker and then posted a pornographic video for the entire class to see. They have nothing better to do, I'm telling you.
That's a hack?
That's a hack.
I mean,
because you have to have credentials to log in. So this person who is not part of the school managed to log into a health class and give them the sex education training. This all happened at the Ralph Perry Junior High School, of course, sparking outrage among parents and district faculty. They're looking to find out who this model student is.
A junior high prankster.
A junior high prankster.
Oh, got in and, actually, you don't know that it was a junior high prankster. But,
no, you really don't.
It could have been the junior high kid's credentials that got him through the door.
It could be. So, Walt, yeah.
It wasn't me, honest.
we have all of one today.
All right.
Exactly one holiday.
So besides the Mission Possible Telethon, what else are we celebrating today?
Okay, we're celebrating National Chocolate Day.
Ooh. Let's go.
that right there is worth the celebration.
Pass the Reese's peanut butter
I was
cup.
going to say, I should
You
have
can
brought
throw them
Reese's.
like a Frisbee. I'll catch them.
I should have brought those Reese's in today, I'll tell you. My favorite chocolate. I do love me some chocolate.
The only one I like is Chunky Bars. With
Chunky
the
bars?
raisins and nuts in there.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. See, I'm not onto that yet. There's not enough chocolatey, sugary, peanut buttery goodness in those.
Oh, because the nuts and the raisins get in the way of the chocolate?
The nuts and the raisins get in the way. And they totally get in the way. Your gas tracker report is brought to you by Big Dog Motors down there in Frankfurt.
Big Dog, he's got the tow trucks, he's got the body shop in case you had that little fender bender and you might need a little help with your deductible. He can help you out with that.
Yeah.
And he's also got the mechanical shop to keep your wheels rolling smooth.
Yeah.
And he also has gently pre-owned vehicles for sale also.
Very nice.
Just in case you want to trade in old Betsy.
Yes.
Like Al does
Yeah.
for that nice red Ford pickup.
It's funny. We've been driving the station mobile truck, which has half graphics on, half graphics off.
Yeah.
We I used to call it Big Bertha when we first got it, but the children gave it a new name.
Oh?
Yes, we call it the Blueberry. And since most vehicles are, they give them the she moniker, I call it Madam Blueberry.
Madam Blueberry.
Madam Blueberry. That's the station live
Sounds
truck.
more stately.
There you go. There you go. So Big Dog Motors, 315-444-9028 is the number. Big Dog Motors, Inc. is the web address, and they're located at 4262 Acme Road in Frankfurt. Nobody beats the Gook. And your cheapest gas today, get this. Cheapest gas is Mohawk Fuel at 205.
Beating BJ's.
Beating BJ's. BJ's is at 207 today.
No kidding.
Yeah. Kinney Drugs on University Boulevard, 213. Speedway down there by the Mills, 218. Speedway on North Genesee Street,
219.
Speedway on Oriskany Boulevard, actually,
219.
Funny, I don't see South Genesee Street for Speedway on here. Interesting.
Not reporting, are we?
Yeah, apparently not.
Perhaps there is the price.
Sunoco on Kellogg Road is 221. Fast Track on Oriskany Street West is 229. And Sunoco with the Burn Dairy there on Outward Ave is 233. And those are your gas prices for the day. Yeah, I paid $2.30 yesterday.
Oh,
highway robbery.
Yeah, but you're out in the end of the distribution network where it's more expensive.
Yeah, a little bit,
and
just a touch.
There's not as many places. There's not as much competition, so we're going to get you.
Like I said, I tell people when I give them directions, okay, you get on the road and you drive, and when you think you're nowhere, drive 10 more miles, and I'm on the right.
Yeah, when you think you're in Nowheresville, keep going.
Keep going. Keep going. When you think
you're not there yet.
When you think you're on the edge of the globe.
When you think you're lost.
Keep going. You're almost there. Another 10 miles.
Another 10 miles, you fall off the edge of the world.
There you go.
You're there.
You're there. Right there. And
Yes,
by the
indeed.
way, last night up in the north area, there were some of the four-letter words, some of the S word. And the meteorologists were saying...
In the North Country?
Yeah, North Country in the elevated,
How north?
Tug Hill.
Okay.
Even Boonville, I guess, saw a little bit.
Oh.
Little dusting.
They
and
had
then
a little of that white precipitation?
Yes. Now... on Friday, they were saying Thursday night into Friday, we were going to get a dusting. And Jill Reel over at WKTV posted on Facebook, it's probably going to be like a while you were sleeping kind of snow because it would be gone by morning. Now, they've adjusted those numbers.
Oh.
Down by me, I may see as much as 2 inches between, Thursday night and Friday morning.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to stop talking about it now. I'm making myself mad.
Little pre-Halloween candy keeper cool.
I don't like it.
That's so that when you're carrying that big bag of candy, it'll last longer out.
I don't like it. I do not like snow. But I digress. What's going on outside the area, Walt?
Oh, fasten your seatbelt, Al. There's all sorts of wonderful things happening. As you know, that the police shot a man wielding a knife in Philadelphia.
Been hearing a lot about that overnight.
And there have been all sorts of rioting and protesting, and protesters were raiding a Walmart, looting a Walmart.
They're liberating some Nikes.
Yeah, there was actually the work boots are still there.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure they are.
And actually, a protester was assaulted who was filming the looting that was going on in Philadelphia. He was actually went inside the Walmart and was videotaping people that were looting, and they were told him to stop recording. So he didn't stop recording, so they beat him up.
Wow.
And actually, I also saw another Twitter thing where the cops were there outside the Walmart and they left. And then that's when the protesters started going in. But if you think that's bad, over in London, there were huge protests in London, and they were saying, shove the New World Order up your...
I was going to ask you exactly what they're protesting.
Something that an 8th grader would put on an educational health.
Where the sun doesn't shine.
Yes. And this is London. There are protests starting to break out against all the COVID kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's also election interference. Google suppresses Breitbart news in search, even with the exact headline. Now, we talked about this over the summer, okay, where Breitbart would put out some news that the liberals wouldn't be too happy about. And because Breitbart is actually a conservative news outlet, they are squelching Breitbart.
Yep.
So actually, if you go on Google and you even look for Breitbart, you're going to have a hard time, but you're going to even have an even harder time finding a Breitbart story. Okay?
Yeah.
So now they are saying that they have a search visibility is down 99% compared to the same period in 2016.
Oh, I believe that. And I also, what's his name? The guy, the email or the Biden email guy that was on Fox last night. What's his name?
Babalutsky,
whatever his name is. They're saying that Fox News is they put that on YouTube. You know, as they do with a lot of their clips. and that's been taken down by Google.
Oh, it was actually just taken down?
Yeah, I believe
it wasn't. What are they? Squelched?
No.
Throttled.
Nope.
Throttled is the word.
They blocked it.
They just blocked it completely.
Yeah.
Remember when there was freedom of the press?
Yeah.
And freedom of speech?
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, if you get on your telephone platform and you talk, you can say whatever it is that you want. But if you get on Twitter or YouTube, you can't say whatever it is you want because they will squelch it.
That's right. Because they're doing it under the moniker of, well, that's not proven news, so it's election interference. It's not proven.
Yeah, but
funny.
If it's Russia, then we're gonna put
then
it
we're just
going to
put it everywhere.
Out there. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. So the world's most technology company is actively interfering in the upcoming elections by burying links to sites they don't like. Breitbart is a classic example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also continuing with the protests, D.C. cops respond to violent protests with tear gas and flashbangs in Washington, D.C. because there was a young man that was riding an electric scooter without a helmet. The police tried to pull him over, and rather than the individual pulling over, he tried to get away from the cops, ran through an intersection, and got hit by a car.
And, of course, that's the police's fault.
That's what they are claiming. There are some claims that it was actually he was actually hit by a police car when he was going through the intersection. That's what some demonstrators are claiming. Yes, that's what demonstrators are claiming.
Yes.
So there was actually a huge number of riots that were going on in Washington, D.C. last night as the individuals demand justice for this young man that got hit.
You know what we
running
lack?
Away from the driving away from the cops.
What we're lacking in this country is civics education. The idea, the how to be a citizen education. How police work, how government works. That kind of thing. We seem to lack that.
Yep. So let's see. You got protests in Philadelphia. You got protests in D.C. There were protests in Seattle. Protests are breaking out in London because they're tired of being clamped down. And actually, I mean, in England, they are like getting clamped down all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
And I am actually surprised that I don't see more happening. Now, in Paris, you have seen protests break out, but they are telling us that it was on a gas tax. All the yellow coats people, they're not protesting gas taxes, okay? They're protesting overreach of the government. That is what they're sick of. But you are actually being told different stories.
Yeah.
And so we also have violent protests erupting in New York City, also along the same lines that are in Brooklyn. Hundreds took to the streets. There was property damage in the downtown area. In Philadelphia, thousands of looters targeted business on that second night because of the killing.
Yeah.
So what else? Actually, kind of a good thing. In Brooklyn, an employee was shot by a suspect because there was an argument. The guy left the store. He got a gun. He comes back, and bang. And an off-duty New York police officer tackles this guy with a gun and holds him down until the active police can come in and pick him up and take him away. He was considered a hero by the New York City Police Department because this Stephen Cohen, 63, shot a Queens Convenience employee, a 26-year-old employee, in the stomach following arguments where he was rushed to a nearby hospital and died from his injuries. But the guy did one shot, and we're talking a New York City convenience store. We're talking not a lot of space. And the officer tackled this guy down and brought him down. And if you actually saw the video on YouTube land, it was quite amazing because there's not a whole lot of space in there for what this officer did.
Wow.
On top of all these wonderful things that are happening in the United States, we had Tony Bobulinski last night was on Tucker Carlson.
And I was watching Twitter, and everybody on Twitter was like, "Guys, you got to turn to Fox News now. Turn on Fox News."
He directly ties not only Biden Jr., but Vice President Biden directly to China accepting money.
Yeah. And he said they are,
Question I have, where is the FBI and the CIA on this? I mean, we know the media is squelching it, and the media does not want this to go around, because when the New York Post reported this, 2 weeks ago? This was reported 2 weeks ago that they had a laptop that confirms that Junior was trading in, if you want to meet my dad, it's going to cost you some money, and, we're going to do that. But, Dad denied it. All right, so Dad denied it. But now you have a first-hand account of a person that was hired to run one of these shell companies so that you could get millions and billions of dollars from China. And Bobolewski was supposed to run this company for the Bidens. And don't forget, the big man gets 10%.
Yeah.
Okay, that means Dad. Okay. And he came out because he said he is tired of seeing this. So it's actually out there. There is a first-hand account, where he is accusing Biden of actually receiving money, not only from Ukraine, but also from China. And actually, Air Force Two stopped on the way to talk to him when he was on the way to China. Yeah. So you are starting to see this come out in the Post. Fox is starting to report on it. This is 2 weeks old. Where is the FBI? Where is China? Okay. And now there are some amazing things, because in an interview with Putin was saying that, Biden might have a business or two here in Russia, but I don't see anything wrong with that. So now the Democrats are expecting you to believe Russia.
Yeah, it's like the shoe is now on the other foot.
Okay, and according to the Washington Times, Democrats are falling short in swing states on early voting. They should be doing better.
That makes me happy. I like seeing that.
It is the bottom of the hour, and the bottom of the hour weather is brought to you by the folks at Media Partners Group. Their phone number is 768-0277. They're located at 188 Main Street in New York Mills, and they can take your old films, your old videotapes, your old slides, and they can digitize them, put them to DVD, or put them to a thumb drive or portable hard drive, whatever it is you would prefer. Media Partners.
Now, your Breakfast Club weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I am Kevin James with a quick check of your WVVC weather forecast. For today, Wednesday, we will see mostly cloudy skies early with partly cloudy skies later in the day. Our highs will be in the low 50s. For tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies in the evening, which will become cloudy on the overnight with a chance for periods of showers after midnight. Our lows will be in the low 40s. For tomorrow, Thursday, look for cloudy skies with a chance for occasional showers. Our highs will be near 50. For Thursday night, evening rain showers will mix with snow showers late, as our lows will be in the low 30s. For the long-range outlook, cooler temperatures with chances for showers and snow showers will be the rule through the end of the week, with partly cloudy skies over the weekend into the new week. We turn our clocks back 1 hour Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, as it will become 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy that extra hour of rest. With your weather forecast, I'm Kevin James on WVVC, Utica, New York.
Waking you up.
Wake up, you sleepyhead. Get up, get out of bed. See how the sun is shining.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's the Breakfast Club, WVVC FM.
Hold it all together, everybody needs you strong. But life hits you out of nowhere and barely leaves you holding on. And when you're tired of fighting, chained by your control, there's freedom in surrender. Lay it down and let it go. So when you're on your knees and answers seem so far away, you're not alone. Stop holding on and just be here. Your world's not falling apart, it's falling in.
just be
WVVC 88.1 FM. Yeah, it is that time of the morning. The time when the sun is finally coming up over the horizon.
Finally coming up, and good things are happening when the sun comes up.
Yes.
You know, you get a little bit of warmth, you get a little bit of light.
Yeah.
One of those things that people need.
Yes, that's
You
right.
know? Sometimes you're out there, you're stuck in the dark.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
sometimes, you know, maybe once in a while, some of us get a little bit lost.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
true.
Need a little help.
It's true. And we've got wonderful organization in Central New York that does reach out to meet those needs, and that's the Rescue Mission of Utica.
The Rescue Mission has a bunch of different programs to help people because not everybody falls down the same hole.
No, they don't.
I think I found that out once.
See, I got some facts here. About,
I could have been there because I'll tell you, Al, when I was young and I had my motorcycle accident and I ended up in the hospital and I ended up in a body cast, if I could not go home, okay, I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You know, and I could have been a ward of the street. You know, it could have happened very easily. And even though going home for me was really tough, I mean, it was not a pleasant experience for me to go from college to going back home in a body cast.
Yeah.
And it was my home life was always the most pleasant, shall we say. So when you're a teenager or you're 20-some years old, and you're stuck in that rough spot, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
you know,
true.
Sometimes somebody that can just say, "Hey, look, dude, you need a hand up."
Mm-hmm. And you know, a lot of people are apprehensive about turning to a place like the Rescue Mission because they think, you know, there's a stigma to it. But the reality is this: they have so many different programs, and it's so well done.
Right.
You know, and a lot of the people who go through the program end up actually working there. You know, we met a number of people who were not only
a lot of people
not only turned around, but they made something out of themselves within the organization because they were so blessed by what had happened to them.
And they are now turning around other people.
Yeah,
because they know that it works. That is fruitful.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds kind of faith-based.
It does.
Kind of godly.
Okay, so here are a couple things that you may or may not know about the Rescue Mission. Okay, in 2019. Provided a total of 254,550 meals to the community.
That's pretty hungry.
That's right. They served, now here's the thing, they have both the food pantry, and then they've got the hot food, you know, like the cafeteria kind of setup there where you can go and grab a meal. They served 158,175 hot meals to homeless and underprivileged people.
Okay.
This was 2019.
Now, is the statistic in
that particular number in here? No.
Because
well, actually, the food box number there is.
Yeah.
Okay. They distributed food boxes to 6,425 shut-ins. Okay. That's an additional 96,375 meals on top of the rest of what they've
96,000.
Yes, that's a lot.
That's a lot. The population of Utica is what? Around 60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the whole metro area is like maybe 110K.
Yeah.
110,000.
Yep.
You know, that's a lot.
Yeah. And, you know, they've got the... you mentioned falling down different holes, okay? Some people are homeless because, you know, may become homeless or something because of financial issues. There is a program for that. There is a shelter. And what I like about the shelter is it's not just a place to lay your head for the night. They will help you work with agencies to find a place to lay your head.
Right.
That is an amazing thing. Then you've got those who deal with substance abuse.
Right.
Well, they'll take you in, they'll get you clean, and then they'll move you to a program that will point you.
Well, actually, you know, and the other thing is cool is their halfway house.
That's right.
I mean,
the Parker
if you're
house.
clean and you walk out of jail and you step on the street, okay, what do you do now?
Yeah.
Some people maybe picked up bad habits early on, and you don't have the life skills.
That's right.
You know, it's like, okay, you got an apartment with 4 walls, and you don't even have a bed or a blanket.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you do? So let's say we put you in a place where we can say, okay, here's how you're going to learn how to cook for yourself and stretch your money. Here's how you're going to be able to learn how to handle your bills so that you can pay the power bill and pay the rent and pay this. And here's how you can, learn how to get a bed and keep a bed and keep a home and keep a house.
Yeah, and here's the other thing that's great. Let's say that you are somebody or somebody you know is not actually able to take care of their own bills because there's literally an inability to budget or inability to to really manage money. They've got a thing called the representative payee program, which means if the person gets benefits or whatever, they will go through.
You're the kind of person we don't want you to have a checkbook.
That kind of thing because you'll be on the street.
Because you have a checkbook, there's still another page in the checkbook, so I can write another check.
There's a lot of that.
There are some people that have that. They don't know that.
That's
your
right.
account has a limited amount.
Yep.
And because they can't fathom that.
That's it. And they've got a program. We talked to Jerry down there in the representative payee department. You actually talked to her.
She was great.
Yeah.
She is an awesome woman, and
yeah,
I wish she was handling my stuff some of the time because she is on top of it.
Yes, I noticed she is so sharp.
Yeah.
And she loves it. She's been doing customer service, not just at the Rescue Mission, but for most of her adult life.
That's a tough job.
Yeah. Security or any kind of income, what they do is they set up a budget and they pay their bills for them.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they give them a small stipend so they can, learn how to buy and budget for household stuff and, those personal items that they need. It's a cool deal. Again, if there is a program, a place in this area that is worthy of support, it's the Rescue Mission of Utica. They do so many different programs. Everybody thinks of the homeless shelter.
Right.
Oh, man, it's so much deeper than that.
It's actually almost kind of a wise investment.
Oh!
Did you smell a segue out?
There's a segue there.
Yes, we are going to be going into Words of Wisdom. And today's Words of Wisdom is brought to you by the good folks at NGEMS. Tony, Mark, and Julie. NGEMS has over 100 years of floor covering experience. And with over 100 years of that kind of experience, they're also experts in saving you money. So before you go to the big box store for your floor covering needs, give them a call at NGEMS. 733-0421. They're located at 2010 Oriskany Street West. And today being October 28th, we are going to go into Proverbs 28:1. And you would think this would apply to our current political times. The wicked flee, though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. When a country is rebellious, it has many rulers, but a ruler with discernment and knowledge maintains order. A ruler who oppresses the poor is like a driving rain that leaves no crops. Those who forsake instruction praise the wicked, but those who heed it resist them. Evildoers do not understand what is right, but those who seek the Lord understand it fully.
Promises 1,000 times. I've tried to hear from heaven, but I talk the whole time. I think I made you too small. I've never feared you at all, no. If you touched my face, would I know you? Looked into my eyes, could I behold you? What do I know of you? Who spoke me into motion? Where have I even stood but the shore along your ocean? Are you fire? Are you fury? Are you sacred? Are you beautiful? So what do I know? What do I know of holy? I guess I thought that I had figured you out. I knew all the stories ocean. Where have I even stood but the shore along your ocean? Are you fire? Are you fury? Are you sacred? Are you beautiful? So what do I know? What do I know of holy? What do I know of holy? What do I know of wounds that will heal my shame? And a God who gave life its name. What do I know of holy? Of the one who the angels praise. All creation knows your name. On earth and heaven above, what do I know of this love? So what do I know of you who spoke me into motion? Where have I even stood but the shore along your ocean? Are you fire? Are you fury? Are you sacred? Are you beautiful? Lord, what do I know? What do I know of holy? What do I know of holy?
Oh, man. 7:52 on the Breakfast Club. And, yeah.
Looking a little damp out there in downtown, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Bit. So, Walt, why do cows have bells?
They have bells because when it's early in the morning, you have to go out and milk them, but you can't find the cows because it's still dark.
You just totally killed my joke. So why do they have bells?
Why do cows have bells?
Because their horns don't work. This joke brought to you. No, I'm just kidding. Little joke there. Oh man, I told my children the dragon milk one. You know.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be the where you get dragon milk. That'd be from a cow with stubby legs. Oh man, I got nothing. It's Wednesday. It is a telethon Wednesday.
We're getting over the hump.
Yes, we are.
We're getting there.
Yes,
and
we are.
It is the telethon Wednesday, the Mission Possible telethon, 877-238-6575. And you can definitely help out some people that do need some help. And,
absolutely.
The rescue mission is a great way of doing it.
Great organization, and can't wait to talk to the folks who work there and the people who make it happen. And some of the people who support it, too, like Bill Cole, who's one of the owners of Gates Cole Insurance, will be there to talk about why they support the Rescue Mission of Utica.
Wonderful. That's great. And so we are going to be working hard tonight.
Yep.
Live on the air.
Yeah.
We're from 7 to 9, the live telethon tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be here on 88.1?
Yes, it is going to be on 88.1. It's going to be on 40.1. And it's also going to be on social media, both our social media, our Facebook, and the Rescue Mission's Facebook. So, yeah, we're
live streaming on social media, too.
We're going to be everywhere.
We're everywhere.
With a very special episode.
A very special episode of the Rescue Mission, Mission Possible Telethon.
Yeah, and also, speaking of a very special episode coming up in about a half hour from now, we got Claudia Tenney, who's going to be in studio.
Yes.
Yes, lots of fun stuff going on in the political world, I am sure.
It's going to be very interesting talking to her.
Yeah, and we get to talk to her about that debate that she had at MVCC just a couple days ago.
Yes, indeedy. Less than a week away, 6 days till the election.
And a little something that not everybody knows. I found this out. You can change your vote. If you're not happy with your early vote, and it was the Post that broke that, told everybody, you can change your vote if you change your mind. And Google, this still floors me, actually put out a how to change your vote.
Oh.
Yes.
No kidding.
So
there have been a record number of early voters.
Yes.
We're over 60 million.
We're over 70 million now.
70 million.
We as of last night, crossed over the 70 million mark.
Wow.
So it's incredible. And there's thousands right here. I think.
And especially in light of what is breaking about our former vice president.
Yeah.
You might want to consider that.
Might be time to think about it, quite honestly. So, good stuff right there. It is 7:56 on the Breakfast Club. Your weather forecast with Kevin James coming up next, along with your headlines.
Best part of waking up.
The Breakfast Club, WVVC 88.1 FM.
When I am lost, unsure I belong, without direction, my worth in question. Your words a light and a lamp to my feet. I am reminded I've been invited. I know it's who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, 'cause you're always gonna be a father. So I know I'm gonna see your promise. Faithfulness is who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, even when I feel uncertain. Come whatever, I will choose to worship, confident in who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder. Amidst the shadows, the weight of the night, I get the feeling this hope is fleeting. Your tender voice sings me out of the dark. You turn my word into your glory. I know it's who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, 'cause you're always gonna be a father. So I know I'm gonna see your promise. Faithfulness is who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, even when I feel uncertain. Come whatever, I will choose to worship, confident in who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder. It's who you are. I don't have to wonder. I know it's who you are. I'm standing in wonder. I know it's who you are. I don't have to wonder. I know it's who you are. I'm standing in wonder. Oh, I know it's who you are. I don't have to wonder. I know it's who you are. I'm standing in wonder. Draped on a cross, even though it was mine, laid down your body, became an offering, gave up your life. Now my soul is alive in all my weakness. Your strength is perfect. I know it's who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, 'cause you're always gonna be a father. So I know I'm gonna see your promise.
And it is 8 o'clock straight up on the Breakfast Club, WVVC 88.1 FM.
It's a beautiful day out there.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Kind of.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
A little gray and drizzly, but I'm sure we all have sunshine on the inside.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to use that one. Oh, by the way, I told you I was waiting for Sunday's race. Still waiting.
Oh.
They still haven't, in Texas, they still haven't run. It was postponed on Sunday till Monday, postponed on Monday till Tuesday, postponed yesterday to today at 3 o'clock.
Today at 3.
Yes, I'm really wondering. One of the drivers, Matt DiBenedetto, actually put out a tweet that said, well, I guess I live in Texas now. So if you need me.
And I wonder how this is how well this is working with the rest of the NASCAR schedule.
The rest of the schedule, because
you said they were trying to run a compact season.
Uh-huh.
Where they're squeezing everything in together, so they must be dropping races.
They're doing something
while they're waiting for the Texas rain to go by.
That's crazy. They're in the playoffs right now. They're in what's called the round of 8. There are 8 drivers vying right now. At the end of this round, 4 will advance. Okay. Yep. That's how it works. It starts with 16, then it goes down to 8, from 8 to 4, and then from 4 they crown a champion. So that's where we are. We're in the round of 8.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. So it's very it's a nail biter. It's definitely a nail biter. So, your weather forecast brought to you by Forever Leather down there in the New Hartford Shopping Center.
Charlie Seeley and his herd of cowhides.
Yes.
He has cowhides in the form of really cool jackets, really cool coats. If you like that long thing, you want to look like the guy in the Matrix, with the tails flying around and stuff like that. He's got those things there. He's got really cool hats, really cool gloves. Check him out. He has a bunch of inventory.
Oh, yes. Forever Leather, 315-734-0922. Let's go to Kevin James.
Now, your Breakfast Club weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I am Kevin James with a quick check of your WVVC weather forecast. For today, Wednesday, we will see mostly cloudy skies early with partly cloudy skies later in the day. Our highs will be in the low 50s. For tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies in the evening, which will become cloudy on the overnight with a chance for periods of showers after midnight. Our lows will be in the low 40s. For tomorrow, Thursday, look for cloudy skies with a chance for occasional showers. Our highs will be near 50. For Thursday night, evening rain showers will mix with snow showers late, as our lows will be in the low 30s. For the long-range outlook, cooler temperatures with chances for showers and snow showers will be the rule through the end of the week, with partly cloudy skies over the weekend into the new week. We turn our clocks back 1 hour Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, as it will become 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy that extra hour of rest. With your weather forecast, I'm Kevin James on WVVC Utica, New
First
York.
on your FM dial, WVVC Dolgeville, Utica, Rome. Inspo Radio 88.1 FM.
Forgetfulness, the chains of yesterday surround me. I yearn for peace and rest. I don't want to end up where you found me. And it echoes in my mind, keeps me awake tonight. I know you've cast my sin as far as the east is from the west. And I stand before you now as though I've never sinned. But today I feel like I'm just one mistake away from you leaving me this way. Jesus, can you show me just how far the east is from the west? 'Cause I can't bear to see the man I've been rising up in me again. In the arms of your mercy I find rest. 'Cause you know just how far the east is from the west, from one scarred hand to the other. in. Today I feel like I'm just one mistake away from you leaving me this way. Jesus, can you show me just how far the east is from the west? 'Cause I can't bear to see the man I've been come rising up in me again. In the arms of your mercy I find rest. 'Cause you know just how far the east is from the west. One scarred hand to the other. I know you've washed me white, turned my darkness into light. I need your peace to get me through this night. I can't live by what I feel, but by the truth your word reveals. I'm not holding on to you, but you're holding on to me. You're holding on to me. Jesus, you know just how far the east is from the west. I don't have to see the man I've been come rising up in me again. In the arms of your mercy I find rest. But you know just how far the east is from the west. One scarred hand to the other. Just how far the east is from the west. Just how far. One scarred hand to the other. Just how far the east is from the west. Just how far. One scarred hand to the other.
It's Casting Crowns on WVVC 88.1 FM. A dark and cloudy start to the morning, but as you said, Walt, you know, at least maybe you got some sunshine on the inside.
Yeah, that's where people can see you shine the best. Is
Yeah.
when it's dark around you.
That's right. Amen to that. And, of course, we are in the middle of our Mission Possible telethon. If you are, feeling like maybe you want a great organization to help out, I'll tell you what, Rescue Mission is that organization.
Yes, they do. They really help out a lot of people and get them on their feet and get them on the way.
Yeah.
A help up.
That's right. Hand up,
Yes.
if you will. 877-238-6575 is their number. Don't forget, if you call to make a donation, remind them that you heard it here on WVVC. Exactly. And your news update brought to you by Dr. Uniforms, 1311 Oriskany Street West in Utica. Professional garb for professional people.
Yes, indeedy. If you need a shiny new toque, that's that fancy chef's hat.
Ah, yes.
It's also Canadian for a hat.
Yeah.
But some people use it to describe that Chef Boyardee kind of hat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That guy there, and they've got really cool chef jackets. Those are really spiffy. The linen ones, that really tight weave, and they look really spiffy. And I'm speaking of spiffy. If you're a medical professional and you want to spifficate your wardrobe, you can head down there and get some spiffy scrubs.
That's it.
Yeah, and if you are a medical professional, you're one of those people, or a chef, or like you're doing construction, you're on your feet all day long.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, shoes, boots.
Those are the kind of shoes that you're glad at the end of the day that you bought good shoes.
That's right. 315-266-0093. Dr. Uniforms down there on the boulevard.
Now, your local headlines from the Breakfast Club.
All right, off the top today, Brookfield man charged after the Madison County Sheriff's Office says he accidentally shot himself and then reported that somebody else does it. So basically he said, it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
I wasn't that stupid.
Deputies were called to a home. Called to a home on Route 8 in Brookfield on Monday, October 26th, after 18-year-old Tyler Wood told 911 dispatchers he had been shot in the leg by a stranger while entering his home. When the emergency responders arrived at the scene, they applied a tourniquet, stopped the bleeding before taking him to St. Elizabeth's Medical Center for further treatment. When the sheriff's investigators interviewed Wood, they said he admitted that he accidentally shot himself and falsely reported it. as a shooting. By the way, when you call the police, best to tell them what actually happened.
Yeah.
I'll
bet that hurt in more ways than one.
Oh, yeah. Ow. Yes, he's scheduled to appear at the town of Brookfield Court to answer on the charges on November 10th. And an Oneida County judge has ruled that Brandon Clark will not get a trial. Okay, he's accused of the murder of 17-year-old Bianca Devins on Boilermaker Sunday last year, pleaded guilty on February 10th of this year. On October 14th, the judge held a hearing to allow attorneys for both sides to plead their cases, and the judge denied the motion. And why did the judge deny the motion? Well, pretty simple, okay? He said not only was he told that his plea was final, okay, he also pointed out that Clark had earlier expressed satisfaction with his legal representation and had freely admitted during the plea allocation that he committed the murder. So you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. Thanks, Judge. Yeah. And also saving a lot of public time and expense.
Exactly.
Going nowhere.
That's right. Next, Clark will be sentenced for his guilty plea to that murder. Court date sentencing has not been set yet. All right, let's turn gears to coronavirus. All corona.
All corona, all the time.
10 inmates at the Oneida County Correctional Facility tested positive for coronavirus, according to the OC sheriff. The original sheriff, Rob Maciel, the man, the myth, the legend. 10 of the possible inmates have been moved to the jail's medical unit, not showing symptoms. The infected inmates were in a housing unit with 33 others. Okay, when the first positive case was confirmed, as of yesterday afternoon, Maciel says 29 of the other inmates tested negative, but have been moved to a separate unit for quarantine to be monitored for symptoms. He says they are still waiting for the final 4 inmates' test results. According to Maciel, jail staff is working with the Oneida County Health Department to determine how the inmates were exposed to the virus. Because to the best of my knowledge, you can't visit inmates right now. You can't go to OCJ or to any of them because, corona.
Yep.
So how did they get it? And the question becomes, was it brought in by a corrections officer? And if it was, who? There's a lot of questions out there.
Yeah.
And also, the Utica City School District will not start implementing their in-person hybrid learning next week as planned because there are not enough bus drivers. According to the district officials, Bernie Bus, the company that provides that transportation for the Utica schools, say they do not have enough drivers for the increased number of routes required for social distancing on buses. And this is one of those things that I was wondering how they were going to do this anyway, because they were talking about it used to be 2 trips of the bus. In the morning, take kids to school. In the afternoon, take kids home. Now they're saying, okay, in the morning, take these students to school. Midday, take those students home. Go back out, pick up the next round of students. Take those students home. How does that work? Well, the district's hybrid plan was supposed to have 127 bus routes, okay? They turned out, they're supposed to have 96 drivers. I'm sorry, they only have 96 drivers, so they're 31 drivers short on that.
1/3.
1/3.
And that's not even counting for backup.
That's right. They're supposed to have 15% extra coverage, okay, which would give them an extra 19 drivers that they're supposed to have over that 31 that they're already short. So little bitty problems there as far as that goes. So they will be sticking with that distance learning model for now. In all crazy all the time.
I wonder if it saves the school district a lot of money not having to bus the students. Or do they still have to pay out on that contract? And is the contract paying out bus drivers?
Yeah.
That aren't working. But actually, I will tell you, I have one of the people running my apartment is an assistant on a bus. And he got let go.
Yeah.
So he is actually without pay.
Yeah, that's hard.
That
is hard. And another thing to keep in mind, because everything's confusing, all right? But as far as coronavirus has gone, everything shut down for a while, and then all the county stuff and everything, they just said, you'll be fine, yada, yada, yada. Well, now that's starting to come back. But everything's coming back at different times, like your driver's license. Okay, they were giving people extensions on your as far as your driver's license, renewing it.
Right.
If it expired after May, they were saying that it was all right. You could print out this paper from the website and just keep it in your car, and you'd be good. Well, starting November 1st, you have to renew your license or you cannot drive. Okay, that's the...
yeah, but the DMV isn't letting people in.
Yeah, well, they are based on appointment. So if you say you schedule an appointment today in February, you'd probably be able to get in and get your license.
I know.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? Take the bus? Oh, I can't take the bus because they don't have enough drivers.
Yeah, you can't take the bus anyway. I don't think they're running. The Central buses, I don't think are running.
The Central buses are running.
They are running?
They have a thing that says,
limited, whatever.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was wondering how that worked. I didn't think they were running, but yeah,
but
that makes sense.
I do not know if they're running in a lower at a lower rate.
Oh, by the way, I do know why. Because I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Walt got a ticket not long ago for an inspection there. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I found out why.
Why?
Okay, your ticket is yellow, or your sticker is yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, if it was red, you wouldn't have gotten a ticket. Red meant it was due to be renewed in 2020. Yeah, that's why you got that there. We were wondering because they were saying that they were giving leeway, and then that happened.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
That's why. I was curious exactly why they were saying that you wouldn't be
I
pulled
was
over
also,
for that.
Because, I brought it in to get looked at, and they says, oh, you know what, go ahead and take it and drive it.
Yeah.
So try to reset the numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and then I thought, well, okay, it didn't work, but they are foregoing this, so maybe I can get it next month,
Yeah.
when,
Yeah.
when that paycheck comes in.
I'll tell you what, the other thing that the utility companies aren't doing disconnections right now, both National Grid, NYSEG, and your cable company, they're holding off disconnections. My question now is what happens when all these people who haven't been paying their bill suddenly are owing a few grand if you haven't been paying your bill since May. How does that work? That's going to be a mess. When this all
it's going to be a
opens
real
back up.
mess.
It really is.
Same thing with rents.
Yep. And
there are a lot of people that,
And for landlords, is the government going to come out and say, okay, now we're allowing you to collect again?
Right.
However, you can't evict anybody without giving them a payment plan.
If you have somebody that hasn't had a job in, when they were supposed to be a bus monitor, and there's no work.
Yep.
So it's like getting a blood from a stone.
Yeah,
you can keep working at it. You can keep hacking away, but
yeah.
And actually, I have a brilliant idea for Emperor Andy. There are landlords that, are probably going to have to just suffer a loss.
Yeah.
How about a tax write-off?
That would be nice.
How about saying, you know what, if you had people that are staying at your apartment and, you couldn't do that, well, how about a tax write-off on your state income tax?
How about this? Since they're already doing a stimulus, supposedly, how about a stimulus specifically for landlords who've suffered loss?
That would be kind of nice.
That would be nice.
And actually, I've heard about that kind of a thing, and actually even the city of Utica did something like that.
Yep.
And I had people send in for it. Never a word.
Interesting.
Yeah, never a word. I haven't heard anything back. You don't know who to call. You don't know what it is because you actually had to give the paperwork to the tenant, and the tenant had to send it in.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now it's like, all right, what do I do now?
Yeah. Well, as we are doing the Mission Possible Telethon for the rescue mission, my question is when all of this becomes due again and there are mass evictions, how many people are going to be out on the street? What's that going to look like? And are they going to reinstate all this in the middle of winter so all this will happen in the dead of cold?
Yeah.
This is going to be very,
very interesting.
All right, and I got one more story to throw out here, and that's New Hartford Central School District. Okay, working to find out who's responsible for a hack on their virtual classroom.
Oh?
Yes. Last week, a hacker posing as a student in a health class was admitted into the classroom. In the class, students tell their parents that the hacker played a loud noise through the speaker and then posted a pornographic video, for the entire class to see. All happened at Ralph Perry Junior High School, sparking outrage, and of course now they're looking for that individual. I knew at some point something was going to happen like that.
Couldn't the teacher see an 8th grade prankster that wasn't there?
Well, my question is,
if somebody signed in
and you didn't recognize the person, hey, who are you?
Yeah.
You know?
And I wonder how many kids does the teacher have online at the same time?
That's a good question.
Does he have a whole class, like 25 or 30 kids?
Yeah, and in
online at the same time?
In New Hartford and Utica, I bet you classes are that size. I know when I was in school, classes would be like maybe 15 people. Now it's...
I remember 20, 25 kids in a class. They wanted it to be around 15.
Yeah, but there were always too many kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. The WVVC Gas Tracker brought to you by Big Dog Motors down there in Frankfort.
Big Dog, Todd Gukin has got the mechanical shop. He's got the body shop. He's got the ability to help you out with your deductible if you might need that kind of a thing. He also does inspections.
Yep. Yes, he does inspections. Yeah.
So I have to go down there and see him. He also can help you out if you're looking for a gently used pre-owned vehicle.
Yes.
Yes.
Those previously enjoyed vehicles.
Don't buy the red Ford pickup that Al wants.
That's right. 315-444-9028 is the number. BigDogMotorsInc.com is the web address. And they're located at 4262 Acme Road in Frankfort. Nobody beats the Gook. And your cheapest gas today, Mohawk Fuel, checking in at $2.05. BJ's, $2.07.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kinney Drugs down there on Oriskany Boulevard's $2.13. Speedway by the Mills is $2.18. Let's see here. Speedway on North Genesee Street, $2.19. Speedway on Oriskany Boulevard, $2.19. That wraps up our $2.19. Sunoco down there on Kellogg Road, $2.21. Fast Track on Oriskany Street West is $2.29. Sunoco on Our Avenue is $2.33. So what's going on outside the area, Walt?
Everybody's protesting.
All right.
They are.
I plan to protest on the third Thursday of November. I'm thinking I'm going to hold a protest. Everybody should bring a dessert to pass. Have my protest. Yes, they're saying no more than the people who come to your house can be from no more than 3 households. Oh, yeah. And it's something like a maximum of 15 people? I got to look that up.
Are they going to have turkey police now?
Apparently. Your turkey day is affected. Your Christmas is affected.
The turkey police will be knocking on your door just about dinner time and inspect the number of family members that you have from other families that are in your house.
Oh, and by the way, you have to keep a log.
What do they do? Take the gravy if...
You have to keep a log. So
all right, surrender your cranberry sauce.
If you have family members coming over, you have to take all their names, their email addresses, their phone numbers, and where they live. And
how many helpings they took when they went by the gravy boat.
That's right. Got to tax that. Yeah, it's just like when I went to Walmart, and now when you go to Walmart and you use their nifty paper bags, a thing pops up at the end that says, "How many bags did you use?" They're 5 cents a piece now. Oh, yes. Everybody's making money, aren't they?
That's nice.
Yeah.
So when the police shot a man who was wielding a knife, chasing them down, protests are broken out for the second day in Philadelphia. They raided a Walmart and looted a Walmart in Philadelphia. So there are riots going on for the second day in D.C. There are also riots going on in D.C. where the police responded to violent protesters using tear gas, flashbangs, because a young man on a scooter, electric scooter kind of thing, wasn't wearing a helmet, and the police were going to pull him over and say, "Hey, dude, you got to wear a helmet." He ran. Fleed on his mopedy thingy, and went through a traffic intersection, got hit, and died. So now there are riots in Washington, D.C., blaming the cops for the young man's death.
They can't blame his stupidity
because he was
A, running from the cop, and B, running through an intersection.
Running through the electric scooter.
I don't
and
understand
he got hit. The same thing is happening in Washington, D.C. There are, in New York City, is what I say. NYC.
There
are violent protests erupting in New York City, in Portland, and they are holding vigils also in pursuit. So not only do we have rioting across the nation, but also London has broke out in rioting. But they are rioting due to the COVID clampdown.
Yeah.
And they are saying...
People are sick of it.
Shove your new world order up your...
dark side.
Thank you.
Speaking of the dark side of the moon.
And even in London, they are protesting against the crackdown, the coronavirus lockdowns.
People are tired of it.
Yes, indeed.
You know, and I know I am. And I was in a store the other day, and I happened to say to a guy in line next to me, I said, man, I can't wait till this COVID thing is over. And he's like, well, if more people would wear their masks. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go talk to somebody else.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I always wear my mask when I'm out and about in public, but I still see people driving down the road wearing a mask. It's like, you're alone in your car. What are you doing? Who are you protecting?
You know, now that you've been breathing in that thing all day long, and you take your hand to your face and you take off your mask, you know, and I always keep my mask handy because I actually just like... I stuff it in my pocket, you know, those little things.
Yep.
Okay, so now when you reach in your pocket, what's in your pocket?
Lint.
Worse, masky germs.
Masky germs,
You just spread masky germs all over your pocket, and you're reaching in your pocket, and you're pulling it back out. So
I was going to say, you're putting that lint-covered mask over your face, so now you got a different breathing problem.
Yeah, when you breathe out and you blow that lint all over the place.
You become like a dryer vent, your stinking lungs. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Yep, always the way.
So Breitbart is claiming election interference because Google is suppressing Breitbart News 99% of what they were in 2016. Okay? So you have the liberal news organizations that is squashing down the current conservative organizations. You know, that liberal social media stuff that they are just squishing things down left and right. And Breitbart is establishing themselves that they can prove it that it is to the effect of 99%. So much for those free social media platforms.
Yeah.
It's only free if you're saying what they want you to say.
Exactly.
Okay. And I mentioned this before. A heroic New York Police Department officer was able to tackle a gunman that shot and killed a convenience clerk in one of those little convenience stores in New York City. The man got mad at the convenience clerk, walked out, grabbed a gun, stepped back in, and bang, and immediately on the video you see an officer come and body tackle this guy and take him down until the police can come. Amazing.
Yeah.
And also amazing, Bob Alinsky was on Tucker Carlson last night, lighting up the Twitter places. And actually, you're not seeing too much about it this morning because it seems like maybe Twitter is throttling that.
Yeah.
You'd think that you would see a lot more of it out there. But Bob Alinsky was on Tucker Carlson last night saying that everything in the laptop is true. And not only is it true, but I actually had talks not only with Hunter Biden, but with Vice President Biden about running a shady organization so that we can get millions of dollars into the Biden family accounts.
Yeah. Nothing like profiting at the at the expense of the American people.
So it is now starting to come out on some of the presses, but it is still being well hidden, well beneath the covers, because it's not being covered by the Times or the Washington Post, and it is not out there on the Webiverse like you'd think it would be.
The Webiverse.
The Webiverse.
All right. You're going to have to write that one down in the book, the Webiverse.
Yeah, the Webiverse.
I'm familiar with the Twitterverse.
Yeah.
But not the Webiverse. That's a new one.
The Webiverse. In the house, we have Claudia Tenney with us. Did you bring bags of those billions of dollars that you're responsible for that I heard from...
Oh, man.
Nice, but can I tell you that my dad drove an Olds 98, was a modest guy.
Yeah.
Your dad drove an
Olds 98.
An Olds 98.
He would not drive anything unless it was an American brand.
Yep.
And Anthony Brindisi's father, his legendary, pulls up with his Rolls Royce in front of the Stanley for events that, you know, is LTB license plate.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
It's all about obsequious displays of wealth and you know, they have millions of dollars. I mean, they probably spend $1 million a year on advertising alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
You notice their advertising gets real heavy when he's in a campaign year?
Oh, yeah. Imagine that.
It's
With
amazing.
the name ID. And then they advertised for the first time ever in Broome County in 2018. Interesting.
All right, we'll be getting into more of that right after the weather.
Right after the weather.
Which is brought to you by the folks at Media Partners Group, 768-0277. They can take your old videotapes, your old slides, your old films, 16mm and 8mm, and they can digitize them to DVD, thumb drive, or a hard drive. 768-0277.
Now, your Breakfast Club weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I am Kevin James with a quick check of your WVVC weather forecast. For today, Wednesday, we early with partly cloudy skies later in the day. Our highs will be in the low 50s. For tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies in the evening, which will become cloudy on the overnight with a chance for periods of showers after midnight. Our lows will be in the low 40s. For tomorrow, Thursday, look for cloudy skies with a chance for occasional showers. Our highs will be near 50. For Thursday night, evening rain showers will mix with snow showers late as our lows will be in the low 30s. For the long range outlook, cooler temperatures with chances for showers and snow showers will be the rule through the end of the week, with partly cloudy skies over the weekend into the new week. We turn our clocks back 1 hour Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, as it will become 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy that extra hour of rest. With your weather forecast, I'm Kevin James on WVVC, Utica, New York.
Best part of waking up is
The Breakfast Club, WVVC 88.1 FM.
Seems to drain it all away, and once again I'm left in fear and doubt when all my strength is crying out. So here I am again, willing to be opened up and broken like a flower in the rain. Tell me, what have I to do to die? A storm to rock my world. Just when I think I'm safe and warm, I'm led astray far too easily. It's always hard for me to say I'm wrong until I know I can't go on. So here I am, tell me, what have I to do to die and then be raised to reach beyond the pain like a flower in the rain. Lord, you have searched me and know when I sleep
WVVC 88.1 FM. Jackie Velasquez there in Flower in the rain. And it's, speaking of rain.
That's something what we got today.
We got a little of that out there. And
the fall mums are getting the rain.
We do have Claudia in the house. Before we go to Claudia, I just want to remind everybody, we are in the middle of a telethon.
We are starting the telethon.
Starting the telethon. I say middle, really.
The
we're
telethon
at the starting line.
Long into the evening, Al. Don't forget. You got to save your strength.
Save my strength. We are raising money for the Utica Rescue Mission.
The Mission Possible Telethon.
The Mission Possible Telethon going on now. Phones are open, 877-238-6575. They do a lot of great work down there. So.
Yes, indeed they do.
All right. So, Claudia, good morning.
Good morning, Claudia.
How are you guys?
We were yesterday in the news. It came out that Biden is outspending Trump by a factor of 2 or 3 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's not really the small donations, the small $45 donations that he says that he's been getting in. It's really the dark money that is coming out. For instance, I heard that
Michael
Bloomberg, is going to dump a huge amount of money into just one state,
Florida.
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan now? Okay.
Yeah. I heard that he was going to come up with millions of dollars just for the state of Michigan to support Biden.
Now,
so with all this money,
there's a cap on donations, right?
Not if you're in a PAC.
Okay, I was going to say I didn't understand how that
worked. Because of the new campaign finance laws and the way they've done it is there's different ways that you can donate to a candidate. Like, for example, I have a campaign. I have my regular Claudia for Congress campaign. That's where all the donation limits are.
Okay.
And then there are big PACs, different PACs. And, the Brindisi keeps characterizing these PACs as somehow they're evil groups, unless they're a union, unless they're a trade organization. By the way, all those donations don't just come from the guy who is, the small mom and pop shop. Like Monsanto donates to a trade union,
right?
A trade PAC. There's all these. He just distinguishes it that I'm not going to take any money from, for example, Apple if they have a PAC.
Right.
But Apple or Bank of America, he vilifies these big companies because they're big.
Right.
And look, they need to be regulated like anyone else. But the issue with them is those donations, whether it's Apple or it's State Farm, they come from the same people. They're employees. In the case of like the State Farm PAC, which gave me money, they are the agents all across the nation that donate because they want to see policies that help them bring better quality insurance at lower rates so they're competitive. That's what they want to see legislation for. This is, the nurses have PACs. And, Brindisi has taken just a fortune from every group you can possibly imagine, but he figures out a way around and comes up with this, I don't take from so-called corporate PACs, but as long as it's a union, recognized union, he'll take all the, employee money that he doesn't have a limit on it. But if you are, someone that works in a company that doesn't have a union, you are a lesser being and considered, a threat to society, and we shouldn't be taking your money. Every employee is equal in my mind. And the issue is not like whether it comes from a big company or a small company. The issue is whether you can see where it comes from. And so what he has are these big corporate PACs. They give money. They're super PACs. And the Republicans have them on the same side. I mean, both sides. Yeah. I would just like to see who's donating to them. And that's what people don't know. And the transparency isn't there. Now, the argument against those is people would say, well, if you disclose who that is, you're going to have everyone, protesting and causing harm to people who are big donors. Yeah. And so there is a thing. There are ways on websites where you can look and see roughly who's giving the money. But I think if there's a way to protect, we have to have law and order, first of all. You can't defund the police and then say, go ahead, this guy, Mike Bloomberg, donated a bunch of money. We can use guns to protect him, even though he's against guns. I mean, it's like the absurdity. But I do understand. I mean, it is the cancel culture, the kind of, going after people who are supportive. I mean, you don't hear too many people on the right going after Democratic donors and cornering them.
It's because we don't. That's the thing. I mean, everybody's got to make a living. We don't vilify a business because they, we're not going to protest. I may stop buying something, You know, if I find out that a company is like donating big money to something I disagree with, well, I'll stop buying the product.
Here's one of the things I didn't get to kind of finish my thought on the debate, though. One of the things that Democrats do really well is they project their ills, their faults on us as if we're doing it. You can look at it whether it's calling Trump in collusion with Ukraine, Russia, and China. Well, guess who's in collusion and in business with Ukraine, Russia, and China? Hillary Clinton, Biden, the whole crew of them.
Yep.
And they've all these years we found nothing on
After
Trump.
3.5 years
After
of
3 years of time, wasted money, defaming and really attacking the
Pulling the
Trump
rug out
family.
from under.
Really making it hard for them and all this. But look at how the other thing that is, members of Congress can also give. They can create a PAC. I have a PAC called Tenacious PAC. It's a leadership PAC. I can donate to different people who I feel are tenacious, and it's kind of my thing. And so Adam Schiff has a PAC. So interesting that Anthony Brindisi votes for impeachment, and then Adam Schiff gives him money. Interesting, Anthony Brindisi votes for impeachment and raises almost instantaneously almost $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this was lucrative, and he gets the House Armed Services Committee, which he wanted initially, but because he did not vote for Nancy Pelosi for Speaker, he voted for Joe Biden, which is going to become relevant very soon here.
Yeah.
He got House Armed Services after he didn't get it, but look, basically it looks like, I don't know if it's true, oh, you voted for impeachment, you get whatever you want. You get $1 million, you get your House Armed Services Committee, you get Claudia Tenney's Spoons Act passed, which, by the way, I want to fact check it. I had more Democratic sponsors than Republican sponsors. In the debate, he was one blue streak of absolute lies, and he knows it.
Yeah.
My bills were bipartisan. All my bills were bipartisan. I've had 21 bills sponsored or co-sponsored, signed into law. He kept saying I had none. He just repeated these same, like in a machine gun style talking point. Yep. She takes money from this one. She's cutting Social Security and Medicare. How many years, how many decades do the Democrats keep saying that the Republicans are cutting Medicare and Social Security when the only group that has cut Medicare and Social Security and threatened it have been the Democrats, including President Obama.
Yeah.
Added a payroll tax.
Yep.
Yeah.
That, I mean, these are the people that, again, projecting all their faults and ills on us when we're just trying to protect the system. Yeah. I voted to protect people with pre-existing conditions. He's actually running an ad and talking on the debate about how I voted against it. It's in the bill I voted for. It's in plain language. I put the exact quote from the bill that passed the House on Twitter. If you go through my Twitter feed, it's on there, the exact language of the bill we passed. So it's just, it doesn't matter if he's lying. And I think that is a real telltale sign. A guy who's willing to lie and lie and lie several times, all through the debate, will turn around, and who does he vote for Speaker? A guy who's one of the biggest liars in American history right now, Joe Biden. I had nothing to do with my son's, son's. I would never ban fracking. I'm going to ban fossil fuels. I mean.
I remember that clip.
This guy has
show me the tape. Show me the tape.
Several times.
No problem.
This guy is a plagiarist. He almost got kicked out of Syracuse Law School for plagiarism. I mean, talk about he had to disband and get out of a presidential race.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
Of plagiarism.
Because of plagiarism.
Look at Anthony Brindisi. He is doing victory laps around bills that I drafted, including the original title, the Spoons Act.
Yep.
My idea, my bill. And he's going on claiming that it wasn't bipartisan. There were more Republicans that voted for my bill, and that's a Democratic, what used to be a Democratic issue until Trump. Trade, Made in America was something that was more on the Democrat side that I persuaded and brought people on our side over to.
Yeah.
He got less Republican votes on that bill, and the only reason it passed for him was because it was partisan. If I had gotten into Congress one more term working with President Trump, we would have gotten that bill passed because the president would have gotten the Republicans to come to our side.
Right.
That bill actually shows how bipartisan I am and my willingness to work against my party. But he's never done anything against a party of significance. He has the most partisan record down the line. He votes to abolish voter ID, votes for late-term abortion, votes for Medicare for all, and then says, I don't know if I want to vote for that now. He's all vague about it. How much? I mean, he is Joe Biden right down the line.
Yeah.
Actually, on abortion, we were talking yesterday.
I was just going to bring that up.
He co-sponsored the New York State legislation
he voted
for abortion.
For it 4 times.
Yep, and we had Barbara Ames in here yesterday. Was talking about
I
that.
heard she was in.
Yeah,
I didn't get to catch it. I wish I had heard it.
She cracked me up because she's talking about that one rally and how they're rallying to defund the police, and then anything happens, and one was screaming, "Arrest him! Arrest him!" But didn't you want to defund those guys?
But it is amazing that this guy who says and this is what's concerning me, and I want your audience to know this. He is Catholic, and so a lot of people think, oh, he's Catholic, he goes to church, so he is, pro-life. And then people think you're a woman, and we assume that you're pro-choice. And I've been I have 100 rating. I have a perfect rating from every pro-life group. I've always been endorsed by National Right to Life, SBA List, all those pro-life groups. I'm one of the few people that went out strongly pro-life, got elected, took it on, and got elected again. And a lot of the reason that people don't vote for me, women, is because I am pro-life.
Yeah.
But we have to persuade. I mean, we need to continue, no matter whether I'm in office or not, I'm going to continue to carry the pro-life banner. We need more and more people to come to our side. And I think more and more people are. I think the tide is turning as we get technology and science. The Democrats like to talk about science. When you can see a baby,
but it's only the science they allow on Twitter.
Exactly. But it's interesting though that this guy voted for late-term abortion 4 times, co-sponsored the bill, will not answer any questions on it, will not talk about it, ducks and covers from it like he does when he talk about defunding the police or impeachment. His voting record is so far left. But he tries to masquerade as this moderate, and I'm bipartisan. He is none of those things. When it matters, he is partisan, hard left. And let me tell you something. Look at his almost 8 years in the state assembly. Tell me how many times he was bipartisan.
Yeah.
When he was handpicked by Sheldon Silver, hopefully going to jail.
Yep.
Promoted by Governor Cuomo, Rosie O'Donnell, and that Schumer. They're doing fundraisers for him, squirreled away in New York City. Why isn't Keeler and all these people talking about all his fundraisers in New York City that he was having in his first term? Now they're having virtual fundraisers. He is funded by left-wing California, left-wing New York City, socialist. I mean, he is nothing. He really is a socialist. I don't see how his voting record is socialist. Now, once in a while, when you throw out a bill like Claudia Tenney bills and claim them as your own, and you say, see?
Yep.
That makes me moderate. But most of those bills don't pass on the Democratic side.
Yeah. I watched WKTV's forum with the candidates there. I watched you and Anthony both on. They had him on first, and then they brought you in. What did you think of that? What did you think of that format?
We had 3 minutes or 4 minutes?
Yeah, grand total.
Well, we were supposedly didn't know the question. I mean, I didn't know the questions. I don't know if he did, but I know. I mean, Kristen's pretty good though. She's always been good to me.
Yeah, Kristen's good.
She's solid.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was. He didn't look like a confident person to me in that interview.
No,
and he never answers a direct question.
No, he doesn't.
Except President Trump got this bill signed. President Trump, the guy voted to impeach because you Trump people out there, you got to vote for me. Don't vote for Claudia. Vote for me because I'll work with President Trump even though I voted to impeach him. Yeah. I mean, how many times could he say? Every one of his commercials talks about how great Trump is. How does he sell that to the far left and the resist movement and indivisible?
And man, he is everywhere. He's streaming. They pop up on TV.
Well, the money is
up.
unbelievable, and he keeps talking about me being awash in money and I'm a stooge of the people. Everyone knows I'm not. I've come into this. First of all, it's pretty amazing that I even got elected to the assembly. I'm probably the first woman to get elected against the Republican establishment, against the county chairman.
Yeah,
to get into the assembly. And then in order to get into Congress, I didn't get endorsed by the Republican Committee on Oneida County. Hometown, my dad was once the county chairman. I had to win against the avalanche of the party insiders.
Yep.
And it's interesting because over these years, a lot of people have been disenchanted with some of the party insiders.
Yeah.
And some people who were in on the group get cast aside because they're not towing the line.
Yep.
I've brought a lot of people to my side who realized, whoa, wait a minute, you're right. These people are bad, and there are more and more of them which is how I've been able to get elected, because I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to change the status quo. I'm trying to make the Republican Party great again.
Yes.
Make people be a big tent, not just, a friends and family plan. Oh, if I get on the committee, I can get a job, here and there.
Uh-huh.
It's got to be more about what we stand for, our principles. It's never been about money. I've never had the money compared to any of my opponents.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been outspent so grossly. In 2016, my opponents had $16 million.
Yeah.
I had $3 million.
Yeah.
And I only got that $3 million at the very end when the Republicans came in to rescue me.
That's better than 4
and
to
most
1.
of it was my own money in the primary. It was I put my own money in. So it's just like the fact that Brindisi has had this hand-picked, gilded path. The guy, I think it's estimated that his father paid almost $40,000 to get him elected to the school board.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that to me is like we've got a mission here.
He outspent everybody that was running against him put together just on his school board.
Yeah, I mean, and then he all of a sudden, Rowan DeStito takes a job with Governor Cuomo. A lot of people who probably, like the mayor of Utica, Rufero, a lot of other people should have been the candidate. How did all of a sudden they all get bullied out of this, and this guy becomes the candidate? Sheldon Silver's behind it, and Sheldon Silver gives him what, $500,000 or $600,000, a record at the time, to run for assembly.
Yeah.
In a district where it's already, gerrymandered for a Democrat, and they need to put that much money behind him against an unknown at the time. And by the way, he didn't win in any landslide with that kind of money. And then he goes on and, never has an opponent, and then gets handpicked by the Democrats to be their nominee in 2018. They bully any would-be primary challengers out and, gets record resources, $15 million in 2018. To just smear me like I'm some kind of horrible person and I'm all in the money. I mean, I'm the one without the money. That's the kind of funny thing. I mean, I'm the small business owner. I had to raise my son as a single parent. I had to take care of my parents across the street. My dad, everyone knew, wonderful guy, but he was in a wheelchair going blind. My mother had some real serious mental health and physical health problems, and I took care of both of them right up until their final days.
Yep.
And it's like I never had a lot of money. I remember in my business, you guys are small business owners.
Oh, yeah.
How many small business owners out there, especially now, are suffering? I can't tell you. I had every credit card I could possibly get.
Yeah.
Maxed out just to pay the paper bill and the postal bill to get my payroll done. Every week, it was the most stressful time of my life. And I was a single mom, and my dad was in a wheelchair. I mean, people don't understand that there are
those
small
are the real challenges to overcome.
These are small business owners are feeling the same thing out there, and these Democrats just walk in. I don't say Democrats because there's a lot of good people out there. They just are very disenfranchised with the party. But you have got the insider, a guy like Brindisi with all this money, all this power, and also they're bullying people. People have actually called me this cycle and said, I'm voting for you, but I was told I can't put a sign on my lawn by the Brindisi family or some connection. We're voting for you. I mean, I've had several people tell me that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're always known for that.
But,
I heard about that back in the 90s.
People who don't know any better in Binghamton and all these other areas, they're just voting on what they see on the commercials, and they don't understand. It's a hard battle, but I have been so overwhelmed. I think I'm up to about $45 million that has been spent against me. And Brindisi has had more than any candidate in our region's history.
Yeah.
It's almost $30 million, mostly from dark money. And by the way, you were talking about small dollar donations. 75% of his donations on his direct campaign side are from large donors.
Yeah.
Most of my donations are from $5, $10, $15 donors across the country.
Yep.
And we have large donors. We do have a lot. They're solid Republicans who want to see our economy grow. They care about America. They want low taxes. They want to see entrepreneurship. They're committed to those causes. And by the way, some of those people are some of the biggest charitable donors there are in the nation.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. All right.
Well, it is 8:55. We are coming to the end of another broadcast day. Claudia Tenney, thank you once again for coming in and seeing us. Good luck. In the next coming Tuesday. Hopefully next Wednesday it'll be
it'll be a celebration.
celebration.
People have to vote. The Democrats are voting in big numbers. I just urge everyone get out and vote.
Yeah, and at this point, who knows if we're going to know or when we're going to know who the next president's going to be. I mean, the fact that we've got at least 2 states now that have extended when they'll take ballots. So I think was it West Virginia? What there was a state where it was like 14 days they were giving or something like that, or 9.
9 days.
9 days.
I believe it was Wisconsin. And North Carolina also had one that was doing, I think, 3 days.
Yeah. It's
Something
incredible.
like that? Yeah.
It's incredible. And you know what? They're going to drag their feet. Should be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Before we go, just a reminder, we are on the air helping to raise funds for the Rescue Mission of Utica. And,
the Mission Possible Telethon. It is going to go live between 7 and 9 tonight.
Yes.
We'd like you all to check in.
Yes, but the phones are open all day long until 6:45 tonight. There's going to be a 15-minute window where they change things over. But for the rest of the day, that phone number you see on the air is going to be live all day long, and they definitely could use the help. They do a lot of great in the community, and we just want to be there next to them, helping them out.
One of those good things in the community. And before we close out, we do want to leave you with a good word of the day, which is brought to you by the floor covering experts at NGEMS, 2010 Oriskany Street West, 733-0421. Over 100 years of floor covering experience. See Tony, Mark, and Julie. They're also experts in saving you money. And today's good word, we're going to close with Luke 10:27. He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself."
Amen.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you dark and early tomorrow here in the Breakfast Club.
Dark and early. Have a good one.
How can I forgive when I can't forgive myself? How can I move on when all I have is regret? How can I face you when I keep turning away? How can I make it past the noise of my shame? I need a miracle, some healing for my heart. I need a revelation, a brand new start. I want simplicity where I can rest, but I need a miracle to put my past to death. I know you want my heart, my